Since Peugeot launched its famous 205 GTI back in 1984, it's been going through the dreaded second album phase, with fanboys constantly asking the question, will anything ever instill the same hot hatch panache as the beloved 205? Well, the 208 GTI has been very well received since its launch in 2012, so well in fact that Peugeot actually released a limited run of 30th anniversary models, which later went on to inspire this new range-topping model in the standard range, the 208 GTI by Peugeot Sport. So as well as getting the usual GTI treatment like this checkered grille and the larger rear spoiler, it also gets 18-inch matte black alloys, red brake calipers at the front, and a host of other performance-orientated changes. But we'll come back to them in a few minutes. Now this Peugeot Sport model also gets some appropriate badging and some additional red highlights inside as well, like these red carpet mats, very snazzy, and the red stitching you see on the standard GTI is now applied to these figure-hugging Alcantara sport seats, which, might I add, are brilliant. Definitely one for the office chair wish list. Now, as this interior is very similar to the standard 208, let alone the 208 GTI, has a very plush upmarket feel without going too overboard with toggles and switches, which is thanks to Peugeot's decluttering design. And I actually think that this is probably one of the most solid hot hatch interiors, really. Kit-wise, you get DAB radio, sat-nav, rear parking sensors and aircon. You also get this nice leather-wrapped steering wheel, and this steering wheel, again carried over from the standard 208, remains the somewhat small elephant in the room. It definitely suits the GTI more than the standard model, but it still remains that a lot of people might find it quite hard to see the speedometer over it. That, of course, depends on your height. Oh yeah, and due to the GTI only being available in a 3-door, you get these large, heavy opening front doors. Worth noting if you have a cramped driveway. Now, looking into these back seats, you may not expect there to be much space. Once you're back here, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Okay, legroom's par for the course, but headroom's actually really good. It's a bit of an optical illusion, really. Boot space is a manageable 300 litres, so small amounts of shopping bags or a rucksack shouldn't be an issue. So on paper, what's so special about this range topper model? Well, it has wider front and rear tracks, it has a 10mm lowered ride, it has special shock absorbers and springs, and it's even got a torsion differential, helping it appropriately distribute torque to either of the front wheels. What's all this mean? Well, it's got tons of grip that allow you to grapple onto the apex of a bend and slingshot your way out the other side. It's got more responsive and weightier steering, and the ride is firm enough to keep the car planted, but not so much that it shudders over bumps. It's actually quite comfortable. It does have its limits and niggles, of course, like its torque steer under heavy acceleration. The small steering wheel doesn't really help here, and it can break loose when pushed hard, especially in the wet. But once you get used to how the car behaves and you learn from it, you actually find that it's easily manageable. Of course, the Fiesta ST doesn't have this problem. There's no denying the GTI's composure though, and the Brembo brakes and large Michelin Pilot Super Sport tyres really fill you with confidence when you squeeze the brake pedal. Very important when you're gunning it on a B road. And this 6-speed manual is quick and slick as well. Under the bonnet is a 1.6 litre turbo petrol producing 205 brake horsepower and 300 newton meters of torque, getting it from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 6.5 seconds. It comes accompanied with a nice rumbling soundtrack as well. You don't actually have to push this engine very hard at all to get tasty results. You get that nice mid-range punch as well. One of the best attributes of the GTI is arguably one of its downfalls as well. Cruise around town and its sensible styling and comfortable ride make it feel like any other Super Mini. Great news for some, but not necessarily for hardcore hot hatch fans. You end up seemingly paying a premium for that subtle hot hatch package as well, as GTI prices start from around £19,500. That's about the same price as a top-of-the-range Fiesta ST, and you'll pay around £22,000 for this Peugeot Sport model. Fuel economy, though, is pretty good. You should get around 40 miles per gallon, depending on how much you hoon it. Okay, the Fiesta ST may be the better track day option, but the 2.8 GTI can still hold its own on a twisty road, and it'll certainly go down the history books as a great competent hot hatch. And if you're a younger driver that wants to pitch a car to your parents and hide its beast lying beneath the surface, then this might be right up your street. But would you consider buying a 2.8 GTI? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the inquire button to find out more details about this car, or for any other models, visit carkeys.co.uk. And to watch more reviews, click one of the links on screen now.